Okay, let's adjust some lighting, and there we go. Okay, lots of stuff to do. Show and tell. Hi, Malibu. Oh, that's Oliver. Okay, let's see. I got piles of stuff here. Let's see. I guess this looks like so. There we go. Move the whole thing over just a little bit. All right, we'll get crack-a-lackin'. Sip of water. Move my chair up so the arms don't get hooked up under the table. And I think we're good to go. Oh, there's this little thing here. All right. Hi, Arlene. Arlene, oh my gosh, girl. You're such a nut. I'm going to show that in a minute. Hi, Janet, Missy, Christy. You're such a nut, Arlene. Y'all look what Arlene sent me, a beautiful card. I mean, this is a stunning card. Velvet. Look at this beautiful card with the awesome little note and little ephemera in here. Hang on, my ephemera fell out. With all kinds of ephemera in here and a nice little note. I'll show that in a minute, but look what she's I think she's afraid I'm going to run out of brushes to use. But I'm going, let me find a little brush. Let me find a flat brush. Well, she sent me enough to last me. I said, you just think I'm going to be a painting fool here. Hi, Melinda. Oh, my goodness. Hi, Kat. Oh my goodness. Oh, where'd she go? There she is. Hi, Pamela. And thank you, Pamela. You should have some happy mail coming, Pamela. Laverne, Linda Renz. This just tickled me, Arlene. This just tickled me. I'll show that again here in a minute. Plus, I did get my pencil case. I did not wait, Janet. Janet, I did not wait to put the pencils in it. You'd be proud of me. Oh my goodness, my eyes are watering now. Let's see. Oh my goodness. So anyway, thanks everybody for being here. Let me get my voice rolling. A little bit of lemon water here. So I hardly ever do this, guys. Every now and then I do. Every now and then I write down things that are step by step. Today, look, I have a step by step. I wrote down a step by step for today. Yes, I know, Janet. No. Oh my goodness. Hi, Angie. Terry Brett. Oh, speaking of Terry Brett, I gotta pull down let me get the prompts out here. We'll get that out here. Get that over here. All right, let's see. Yes, well, I got plenty now. Arlene, such a nut. If y'all don't follow Arlene, Arlene makes some awesome cards, and she's been doing diamond painting lately. Let me click on her. So Arlene, let me get my phone. Find her channel here. If IG will load nicely for me. Seems like it's been a little better lately. In here. Let's see. So here's Arlene. Here's her newest little diamond painting. Diamond dotting. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I think it's diamond dotting. But it's, let me see if I can bring. There it is. There's Arlene's handle right there. Adkinzel. And it's Arlene. So this one, I love this one. This was a diamond painting. Look at this one. My phone wants to flash it out, so, but look at this. Is that how we all feel before coffee? I love that, Arlene. Hi. Let's see. I said hi to Christina. Let's see. Hi, tell him. Cindy Daly. So yeah, that's so cool, Arlene. That's so cool. So let's see. So I do have, like I said, I did make a step by step just because, and I understand not everybody's going to do collage like I do collage, with details and painting and blending and all that. But a few years ago during the virus, we did a whole bunch of different the small Midori type journals. Well, it's kind of the same type of stuff, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to do it in my big journal. I'm going to do it. This is my current. This is like my current carry around journal. And when I say carry around, I don't hardly ever go anywhere. And this does not go with me out of the house. So when I say carry around journal, I don't mean out of the house. Okay. This is my carry around journal, and but like I said, it does not go out of the house. So I got some samples, and then I got in my other big journal here. This is my faith journal, and I did tab a bunch of stuff to show, and a lot of stuff I won't show in this, but I did tab some things to show in this big journal. So we have lots of journaling samples and step by steps to do today. Oh, so yeah, I did start working on all this planning and this listing and all that. I started working on Friday, so I've been working on it for a few days to get it to kind of be simple. Hi, Teresa. Barber Chicken Pot Pie Society. What's our song for the day? Hi, Judy O. Coffee is a good morning. There you go. There's our hug. Our hug and our mug. Thank you, Judy. Let's see. Am I missing anybody? Said hi to Angie. Okay, so I think I've said hi to everybody. So thanks, everybody. You've been making bowls, Angie. Yeah, Angie, aren't you going to be in a like a local fair, local market or something? Your town? I think that's what you said at Mary's the other day. So okay. Thanks, Teresa Church. Let's see. All right. Well, we'll wait a couple minutes and just say good morning. I did get this at Hobby Lobby. It was 40% off. So I got this to last through, up until, through November. So, and it's heavy. It's like ceramic. So I thought it could sit right. It's thin, so it has room up here. Plus, I love this little wood table that Denise gave me, because she used it for a charcuterie board, and she got another one. So she gave me this one. But what I like about it is not only does it give me another little space here for small things like the scissors and whatever, but it's got all this space under here. So usually what I put under there are my current stencils and stamps that I'm using. See? So it's real handy to have that extra lift right there. So anyway, yeah. Let's see. Been making those bowls. What else am I missing? So thanks everybody for being here. I hope you had a good weekend. Did anybody have any fun weekend stuff to talk about? I love this card, Arlene. Look how it's just so it's so classy and velvety, and a little bow. So, and then she just sent me a whole bunch of little goodies in here, little thick cutouts and little things to use. Some of it I could use in my faith journal, Arlene. And so, love this. Love this ladder. This definitely will be going in my faith journal. And I love it. Love these colors. I think I'll pick these two things out here. I don't know that I'll use them today, but I'm going to pick those two things out for right now. And let me just sit this way. This is how I usually keep my card. So I can still see the card and who sent it, but I can file it like this away, Let me close the little. There we go. So thank you again, Arlene, for all these awesome brushes. It's just so funny to me. So I think, let's see, I don't have, I think I have one in here. Oh yeah, I do it. I know that's too shallow. Do I have I might need to go get a mug. I need a mug to put them in. I don't have um, yeah, I don't have a mug up here to put it in right now. Wait, oh yeah, I do. Here I do. I do have a mug. I got my, I have my Xandra mug, my Xandra Frida mug. We'll use that. I switch them around. So we're going to put all these in here. Let's see how I open this up here. Then we'll read our prompts and get crack-a-lacking. All right, let's see here. How can I want them all facing up, so let's see. Turn them around. So yeah, I did go ahead and put my woomers and my Havawa, what are those brushes? Pencils, Halawa ones. I put those in my new case. So I did not wait for y'all. Janet, I know Janet's so proud of me for not waiting. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. I don't see. Put it in caps, guys, if you're talking to me. Look at that. Arlene, you're such a nut. I gotta turn them all over. There. Thank you, Arlene. That was so sweet of you. Hi, Becky Hernandez. Let's see. Scrolling. Hi, Tina. Hi, More Fabrics. There's Selena. Y'all better follow Selena. She's been doing all kinds of sales and stuff on her channel. So if y'all are all into fabrics, I bought so many fabrics from Selena. But a More Fabrics, she has an Etsy channel and a YouTube channel. So y'all follow Selena. And good morning, Tina. Let's see, scrolling. Said hi to Linda. Oh, congratulations, Judy. Congratulations. 28th time great aunt. Circle of girls. Aww. Congratulations, Judy. That's awesome. That's Janet. Oh, scrolling. Let's see. But they couldn't find. Y'all are so fun. All right, so let's see what I want to do first. Let's go ahead and do our prompts and our book reading quick. And let me get a pen here so I can write mine down. And let's see. So Barbara, what'd she say here? She's saying hi. Is that Kimberly? Hi, Missy. I'm not sure what the 557. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and do our prompts. I'm going to try to really dig down the bottom. Hi, Zinjin. Anybody else coming in I missed? Put it in caps if you're talking to me. You received your winning B card. Okay, good, Cindy. It's nice to hear when people get their happy mail. I did have one return and I resent it. It was it's just weird because I checked my address. It was the right address. So they sent it back for me. But Elisa with the E, I don't even remember what was in it. But it's one of the big white envelopes. And I didn't open it up to remember what was in it. But she'd won, or I did a giveaway for Elisa. And it was returned. So Lisa, if you're listening, I don't see her here now. I sent it back out to you. It was returned to me. I sent it to her in April, people. April. And it was just returned to me the other day. So I resent it out. Hopefully she gets it. It's in the States. It's not even an international. Oh, thank you, Selena. You're so sweet. Thank you, Selena. I'm going to send you a print. And I know you'll say, oh, you don't have to do that. But you know I will. So thank you for the super chat, Selena. And I do appreciate that. And I appreciate you stopping in. I know how busy you are. She has a whole warehouse, people, that she needs to keep up with. A warehouse, literally a warehouse that she has to keep up with her inventory. So thank you so much for stopping by anytime you can. And y'all go follow her. Doesn't cost anything to go follow. Um, let's see, scrolling. Okay, so here we go. We're going to pick off the top, or just, a few here, and then I pick off the top. We'll read our prompts for the week. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. We have narwhal. We have sapphire. We have shamrock, olives. Try to take off the top here. And fabric pattern. All right, let me write these down. So we have narwhal, sapphire, shamrock. These are some good ones. I think there's 2 M's in shamrock. Oh well. Olives and fabric pattern. And today is August the 11th. Can you believe it? I got to start thinking about my poster of undersea poster for Inktober coming up. All right, so let me move this. So there we go. There's our prompts for the week. So anybody interested, at least write them down, guys. Put them in your Society of Idea Collector notebook, or sketchbook, or wherever you keep your ideas. You need to keep a running list of ideas. I have a whole bunch. Y'all know I got tons of Society of Idea collecting notebooks. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'll clash. Yeah. That's a good. It is a good one, isn't it, Terry? Let's see. I know, right, Tina? Oh, I saw somebody do a video on is time moving faster? It was really, and he said everybody's saying the same thing. Time seems to be moving faster, and he said stuff like, everybody knows that as the older you get, time seems to move faster, but he goes, this is even young people, and anyway, it was kind of interesting. So hi, Tori, and Tori's doing some Procreate. Moving stuff. Jeez, I got too many things on my mind. I'm already here, guys. I'm already on my list here. So yeah. So follow Tori, Artful Dabbler. She's got some Procreate moving art. Jeez. Oh gee. Let's see who else. Okay, so there's that. All right, let me go ahead. Oh, let's go ahead and read out of our Lollygag book that Kat sent us. And we are up to E, I think. I think we're up to E. Let's see where we are. Oh, are we up to G? I guess we're up to G. Okay, so let's see what we got here in G. And let's get a pencil here. And I don't read all of them, but I just read some because no, I don't think anybody's moving slower, Arlene. I think if anything, we're moving faster, and that's making time move faster. Okay. And plus, I really think it has a lot to do with the digi, world, that we were so plugged into. But anyway, I haven't done a study on it. So, okay, let's see. Gadabout. Someone who flits around from place to place like a social butterfly, but more restless. Gadabouts have a tendency to gallivant. Gallivant. To travel around for pleasure, usually used in a negative way to accuse someone of being irresponsible. As in, while you were out gallivanting, I was stuck here building this tandem bicycle by myself. Oh my gosh, these are so fun, Kat. All right, let's see. Galvanize, to motivate into action. The original scientific meaning of galvanize is to stimulate with an electric current. It also means to cover something made of iron or steel with a coating of zinc. Now, I did not know that. To cover something with a coating of zinc. Okay. Gangbusters. Originally, gangbusters were the people who were in charge of busting up criminal gangs. But now the word describes anything that is done with speed and enthusiasm. And also, guys, let me tell y'all when this book was written. This came out in 2008. Let's see. Ghastly, horrific, frightening, or simply unpleasant. Things that can be ghastly. The scene of a murder, the color of vomit, and your sister's new haircut. Oh my gosh. Gibberish. Language that sounds like English but doesn't actually mean anything. Frequently heard when discussing technical or scientific things. According to one theory, the word comes from an 8th century alchemist named Gerber, who invented a code language in order to keep his work secret. So there it is right there. Oh, okay. Let's see. Gonzo. Bizarre or unconventional, or using exaggerated style. Also a type of journalism in which a reporter puts himself or herself in the story and mixes facts with fiction. Wow, that's not such an odd word these days, is it? Oh, here's a quote from Edward Gorey. Oh no, it's just about him. Edward Gorey, and I have his biography and I have a bunch of books, and y'all have sent me his sticker books, his book. I have tons of his books now, thanks to y'all. A writer who illustrated, and how I first knew about Edward Gorey was in the mystery PBS mystery thing, where if you've seen that little black and white, little characters walking across and the woman going, oh, and fainting off the building and all that stuff. That was all designed by Edward Gorey. That's his illustrations. That's the first time, I don't know, 40 years ago. I don't know how many years ago that he put that on mystery. But anyway, that was the first time I'd ever seen any Edward Gorey art, was that. A writer who illustrated his books, or perhaps an illustrator who wrote books. Either way, Edward Gorey is famous for his witty and somewhat macabre works, which include The Doubtful Guest, and a whole bunch of names here. As all the way, Miss. Okay, so anyway, but that's where I know him from. Is from the first time was from the PBS mystery. Okay, let's see. Gumption. This is what you get. Let me check that. Gumption is what you get when you mix courage and initiative and add a smidge of recklessness, also called chutzpah and moxie. So that's gumption. Okay, so there we go. We'll stop there. There's some of our Lollygag. I love this little book, Kat. Okay, so we read out of that, and some of the other books too. I try to read out of them as well. Riri sent some books, and okay, so let's see here. Who am I missing? Hi, woman. Audria, Jennifer, Ellen. Scrolling. Said hi to Zinjan. Ellen. Let's see, who else am I missing? I try to catch everybody. Brenda A. Sarah's Journey. Well, good, Sarah. Where are you? There you go. Oh no, that's Tori. This chat moves really fast. I have to try to click it when I can. There she is. There's Sarah's Journey. I'll have to go try to find you later, Sarah. Let's see if I don't already follow you. There's Messy in Oz. Messy's been doing a ton of videos or lives lately, so good to see you, Messy. It's Di, Messy, but I call people usually what you call yourselves. I try to, because the main reason I'll call you what you say you are, Messy in Oz, Australia, is because if I call you, like if I called, said hi Di, and there's new people here, people don't know, they're gonna go, who's Di? You know, Diane, who's Diane? You know, and so I try to call y'all what you call yourself, so people can find you, see you, get to know you by your name, rather than trying to figure out who's she talking about. And you know, we all have our nicknames, and after you're here for years, after you're here for years and years, people know you regardless of your moniker. Okay, let's see. All right, so before we get started on my list, which is kind of funny to me because I rarely make a little list of steps, but today we're doing steps. Um, so let's see. Denise. Oh, Denise is talking to the family. Okay, so I did get my pencil case in, and I also got my Mermaid collage soup in. I did post this on IG without having done anything in it, but I do have a page picked out that I'm going to pick something out of this book. I didn't want to tear it out or cut it up till I showed it to you, so I'm going to show you this. I do have some stamps and stencils here for the project, so let's just kind of, I'm going to tuck that right up under here for now, just kind of get it a little bit out of the way. And I have three or four journals that we're going to use for sample pages. All right, so here we go. Here's my pencil case. And I got 3 different sets of pencils in it. Wait for it. It's so pretty. No Post-its. Yeah, well, I could have. All right, let me see. All right, dab. Yes. Wait, let's go. So I started them all on Post-its, Deb. I literally had 10 Post-its. And I said, I'm going to lose track of what I want to say. So I transferred, Deb, I transferred the Post-its to this. So Deb caught me. Yes, it did start on Post-its, Deb. But I transferred all the Post-its note steps, which I had on separate ones, to one page. So it's easy for me just to glance over and make sure I'm not skipping anything. I can check them off, you know. All right, so here's my new pencil case. Now, I do like the pencil case, but I don't love it as much as I do the ones like this one, for example. This pencil case has multiple zips. I like multiple zips. I didn't really think about it when I ordered this one. All right, let's fix the lighting. Lighting's just got all jacked up here. Let's turn that down because we're putting something dark in my light. So I do like these kind better. So I'm just saying, if you're going to put a whole bunch of pencils in one case, I recommend getting the ones with multiple zips. This one has 4 zips, right? So you have 4 different, and what the benefit of that is each one is a solid. Okay, it's not floppy. Not that I really mind that much because I'm not using these like every day where it's going to annoy me, but I recommend getting the multiple zips if you're going to get a big pencil case to hold lots of pencils. This one has 3 different sets, but it's pretty. That's why I got it, because it was so pretty, Selena. So this one does have a zip thing in the front, and it does have a pocket. It actually goes this way. It has a little pencil case with color pencils, and it has, where I could put the pencils that I put in here. So I put 3 different ones in here. I put the Woomers are here first. Oh, the other thing about this one, it has the 3 slot. It has a strap that holds 3. It's like, it's not individual little slots. It's the kind that holds 3 at a time, which is nice and tight. So it doesn't bother me. But some people don't like that, the 3 holder. They like the individual little ones. Thanks, Tina. So here's my Woomers. And I don't really put them so much in Roy Big, what is it? Red, yellow, orange, red, orange, yellow, I don't necessarily do that. Like I got the yellow into the greens, into the blues, and the purples over here. And then over here, the pinks. And then and I'm going to label these. Now, see how they're kind of floppy? It's got a strap here that kind of holds them. So it's not a tied in, if you will, like the other one I just showed you, which I don't care. This is the kind of stuff that doesn't bother me, but just so you know, if something that does bother you. Okay, let me see here. Let me move this forward here. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna zoom in a little here. Let's zoom in one. I think we can zoom in one. Yeah, there we go. All right, hang on. Let me straighten her out. Come on. I think that's going to be better. Okay. So I have my woomers and then the halawa ones. So here's my halawa. So we got these three are the woomers. Then these three are the halawa. And then I went ahead and put in my artisto watercolor pencils, and I just put 2 in each one. Well, there's a couple with 3, but because I wanted to keep them together, but because I spread those out a little further. So these are the artisto. Yeah, there's not an R in that. It's artisto. ARTISTO. Watercolor pencils. So I got 3 different sets in this one case. And like I said, I'm going to label. I'll put like on the strap or something. I'll put what they are, so I can flip right to them if I need to. I really kind of already, I know what they are. But all right, let's adjust the lighting again. Always adjusting lighting. But I really liked it because of the case was so pretty. So, and it does have a handle. Of course, I'm not going to carry this around anywhere. It's going to go from the shelf to the desk, maybe into the other room, but that's as far as it'll go. Let's see. Hi, Dot. So yeah, but it's it's big. It's 2 hand spreads wide. Or tall, whichever way you want to look at it. So anyway, I went ahead and put all the pencils in, the 3 of the woomers, the halawa and the artisto watercolor pencils. The other 2, the halawa and the woomers, are not watercolor pencils. So there we go. So just to show y'all that, let's see. Let me put this away. I did clean a couple of areas in my room this weekend. I am working on organizing. Okay, now this is the the newest collage suit book that I got. Okay, now I had a lemon seed stuck in my straw. All right. So I'm going to do a quick flip of this. Let's just put it up on top of here. This is one of the journals that I'll probably work in this or on just some flat cardstock. And well, you'll see in a minute why. Okay, so Collage Suit Mermaiding. I did tag Xandra. I did tag Xandra when I showed this, and she goes, "Oh, I got that last week." Okay. Of course you did, Xandra. Xandra's our resident mermaid. So anyway, so and she did, Emily Stone did this with Adrienne Barry, and I did find her. She has a YouTube channel and she has an Instagram. So if you want to follow Adrienne Barry, she helped design this one with Emily Stone. And so it's if you love mermaid, you're going to love this book. So I'm going to do a quick flip through it here so y'all can see how stunning it is. And Adrienne has on her YouTube channel has done something with some of these images already as well. So thanks, Kat. Kat put a link into the book. So just love it. I love this water here too. I might take a piece. What's on the back? Yeah, I think I like the water. Now I got lemon water hiccups. Hang on. Let me put I might take one of those for one of the pages. Isn't it beautiful though, guys? Ugh, get my voice. And it's got lots of little pieces that you could cut. You could do ATCs, inches. This is the one I think I'm going to use this image and maybe the fish for one of the art. I'm going to try to make multiple art journal pages today, but it's going to be the same steps. It's going to be the same steps, but with different images. Okay, so I think I might use this one and this fish. What's on the back of the fish? Yeah, I'll probably use these two. Let's just go ahead and tear these out. I know you'll go, oh my gosh. Yeah, and that back has stars because I'm going to use her, I think. And I'm going to go back over here and pull this wave sheet. And they do tell you you can use your heat tool and heat up the glue here, and the book will just come apart. If you want to take the pages apart very, very neatly. Of course, most of the time I just use a cutter and just cut them out. All right, so let's keep rolling here. Postcard size. Hi, Devin. How you doing? So we're going to do step-by-step art journaling, which we rarely do a step-by-step anything. Hey, Lisa. Hey, girl. Hey. I should get my hands up. I've been not slacking, but I'm rabbit trailing this morning. So let's see, Michelle. Who else? I might be missing you. I do go back every stream and scrub through the chat to see, not right away, but like that night or the next day. I'll scrub through my chat and make sure I didn't miss any new people. Look at this. Isn't that so cool looking? I love that page. This will make a good disc. One of my collage discs. That one. I should make a playlist with just discs, but I think I just have it right now under collage. And we do so many different things on each show. It's hard to put everything under just one playlist. Usually some things are under a couple of playlists, mixed media, collage, I like this one. She's holding that fish right there and looking at that one. That's so cool. So a merman. So it's just a really pretty book. Right, Selena? Amore Fabrics is Selena. Just so y'all know, because like I was just saying, if I just said Selena, y'all go, who's Selena? What's Amore Fabrics? And I love her fabric. She's got stunning fabrics. I love this too. I love jellyfish and undersea things. So when they came out with this book, I was excited to get it. So, and then there's a little profile of Adrienne Barry, the co-creator with Emily Stone. So there you go, guys. That's the Collage Suit Mermazing. And I did pull a couple pages to use out of here. So let's see, where can I put this for a hot minute? There we go. All right, so I'm going to move this because I pulled some pages to use for that. All right. If y'all missed it, Arlene sent me, she was afraid I was going to run out of brushes. Arlene. So I put them in one of my, speaking of our mermaid, Xandra's our mermaid, and, or mermaid rather. I'm thinking of mermaid where you do mermaids in May. Anyway, Xandra is also our Frida girl. So, all right, let's see. I had some other things pulled from the time, from one of the steampunk and the time. Let's see, Timekeeper's Atlas. I also pulled a few images from here because the first thing in our step-by-step art journal page is pick a focal point. Now, let me start by saying I do not always do this. I probably rarely do these step-by-steps when I'm doing collage or art journal pages. But I wanted to do something that was very, let's see here. I wanted to do something that was very step-by-step because so much of my collage work is kind of complicated. And I know a lot of people don't want to, you know, tackle that so much. So I picked a couple pages in my art journals, my faith journal, and my everyday. This is my newest everyday. Y'all know I have tons of everyday journal. This is my newest everyday journal. So I picked some samples for that. All right. So if you want to write down these steps, I'll also at the end I'll just hold this up so everybody can take a screenshot, but I don't want to give it away all at once. We're going to do it step by step. Okay, number one. Oh, I need a highlighter to kind of check off. Let me find a let's get an orange one up here. All right, pick a focal image. All right, so if we start with, let's just say let's start with the mermaid one here. Okay, so I'm going to pick my focal image. It's going to be her. Okay, so, and then a lot of times now, because I'm not going to paint, I'm going to use inks to blend more than any paint. And you're going to have to decide. I did, you know, note that a lot of times when you're using art journals and you use inks and water, it will go through your pages. So you're going to have to be aware that depending on how thick your journal is, like these are not thick pages like cardstock weight papers. So you can do a couple different things. Let me cut talk at the same time. You will have to decide on what you are going to use as your base paper. If your base paper is thin, like these are, then if you use any kind of water, so mysterious. If you're going to use any kind of water techniques, watercolor, water smushing inks, or any of that stuff, then it's probably going to go through. So you can do a couple things. You cannot care, like I don't, but make sure you have a piece of cardstock or something in between so it doesn't go on to the next page, right? And then you can, anything that goes through, you can just put another image on the back. So what you can do if you don't want to risk something going through with water-based techniques is you can do it on another sheet. Doesn't have to be cardstock. This is a very light cardstock, but you could just do it on another piece of paper that can go through and then cut that out and glue it in. So you can do that. So you're not, oh, I'm so afraid I'm going to mess up my journal. Well, do it on a separate piece of paper. Do it on a separate piece of paper. Cut this down or out, and then, tape it, glue it, however you want to attach it into your art journal, and then you don't have to worry about that. Okay, I got to hang on, guys. I'm running around here. Let me turn my air down just a little. Hang on. Okay. I usually try to turn the air down when I'm running around at the beginning. Then sometimes it gets too cold. All right. So put it in caps, guys, if you're talking to me or if you have a question. All right. So as we are working, I will try to remind you and myself what, about that aspect of working in your art journal, that you have to be aware that some techniques will go through the paper. Okay. All right. So I'm going to cut her out. And y'all know when I'm doing my collages, like on the discs or in my collage art journal, which is a separate journal, I tell y'all to tear the edges if you're going to paint them in, because torn edges blend better with paint than cut edges. But if you're going to use a focal point like we're going to do today, cutting it out is the technique we're using today. But y'all seen a gazillion, thanks Kat, putting in the art journal. Y'all seen me do a gazillion different techniques. This is going to be a step-by-step one with little instruction things. Okay, she's just going to be sitting on those shells there. I'm going to get rid of some of those other ones there. Sitting on those shells. Okay, there we go. All right, so she'll be this focal image. And then I'm going to probably pick one of these waters. Which one do I like? Which one do I like? And I could tear or I think I like both of these. I think I'm going to go with both. Have a little bit of the brown there. Okay, I can save this. And, you know, sometime, depending on how big your journal is, I'm going to be working in this size. I don't know that I'll get to working in this one, but I want to show y'all a couple different sizes. Okay. And I don't want to show all the samples till after we do a few. After we do a few pages, I'll show you my samples. I'm going to keep y'all in suspense. Hi, Mama Juju. Who else is coming in? Keep y'all in suspense. Okay, so I do like this. I do like her. Now, this is going to have to be cut down because the journal is going to be, you know, only so wide. So I do like that. So I like her. So focal image. And this can be considered together a focal image. Now, I do like these fish. If I cut out any of these fish, which I probably will do, I don't want to do it yet because I don't want to bore y'all with just a whole bunch of cutting. But this will be more toward the back end of the page. Yes, class is in session. Tell him. And tell him, I just found tell him not too long ago on Instagram as well. So tell him thank you is on Instagram. I think you posted something either today or yesterday that I liked. So, you know, follow each other. Hi, Ann Makes. It doesn't cost anything to follow everybody, you know. Okay, so there we go. That this will be our focal image for this first page with these as supplemental ephemera. Put that right there. Okay, so I think I'll go ahead. Let me show. Let's see. I'm going to tease y'all. I'm going to find something to show. You know what? I think I'll show this one. I'll show the small one. I'll show a couple pages in this journal before we start working in the big one. So I can move this out of my way. So this is my current everyday take notes, write things down, tack things in journal. And it's a Midori, multiple signatures. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 8 books. And this one has I use the what do you call it? John Deerean books. These are the John Deerean little Midori books, and they have different ones. See, some look like this, some look like this, and so that's what I'm using in this one. Okay, and then I've also got in different. Oh, look! I bet those are Selena. These are Selena fabric pieces and appliques. So I put a few of those in there because sometimes I'll use these for tabs. We're going to talk about tabs and all that too. One thing at a time. Supplemental ephemera. Well, I feel official, Devin, when I make a list because I don't ever do that. I'm always winging it. Y'all know I'm winging it here. But today I said I want to do an official step-by-step. So, and Debbie did bust me out and say, didn't you put those on Post-it notes? And yes, I did. I put them on Post-it notes and then transferred them over neatly to a piece of paper. All right, so let's see here. I just want to show y'all a couple. Maybe. Okay, here's one. All right, here's a very basic. All right, this is the kind of thing we're going to kind of do, but this can be furthered. But this is step by step. Okay, so I just I'll pull this little one out and show you that. And I also have a one of my little granny square cuts on here for a tab. So you can use all kinds of things for tabs as well. All right, let's put that back on there. Okay. It's a little sneak peek. All right, so now and again, I have this journal I'm going to show, and then I have my faith journal, It's not just faith. It's other things that are important to me. Like I got Save the Bees pages in here that y'all seen before. But anyway, so these. I'll show you all these after a while. So this is a separate journal. But all right, so let's just find a page here. All right, so we're going to do a couple things. So first, let me check this off. Pick a focal image. All right, pick a focal image. Let's we got to adjust the light because we went onto a white paper. So let's kind of play with that a little bit. Maybe I should put it. This is going to be kind of a hump. Let's find another spot. Here we go. Kind of more in the middle so that it lays flat for you guys on camera. So we're going to kind of go in the middle here. All right. So pick a focal image. Next is colors for your background. Well, it's really kind of your colors for everything. All right. So now you're going to decide if you want to use ink, paint, what your medium is going to be. Now here again, I'm going to use something that's probably going to bleed through, but I don't care. So, but if you do care, take you a piece of cardstock or something and put behind so that if it does bleed through, and it might wrinkle a little depending on the thickness. Again, if you're scared of messing up your journal, you're afraid that you're going to wrinkle it or mess it up, do it on a separate paper. And I did pull this one from the last week, this little piece of collage that we kind of did a little bit last week to show you that you can work on a separate piece and then cut it down or tear it out and put it in your journal. Okay, I don't want to get redundant here, but I'm trying to cover everything because y'all know I'm not used to doing step by steps. All right, so I'm going to put this kind of behind here just to show you. All right. Now, this is my focal image, so I'm going to pick colors either based on this, contrast. It's up to you. Also, if you want to use, I'm going to use inks today, but you can use, because I always use paint. I always use paint in my collage. So I said we're going to mix it up and we're going to use inks. So usually when I'm using inks, you've seen me and Denise do a lot of blending with our little brushes, and I'm going to do this as well. But if you keep any kind of little plastic off of your off of packaging, this is just perfect to do ink, to get some ink to use for water. Now, you can use your inks, you can use your watercolor pencils, there's just so many things that y'all know the supplies. Okay, I did not make a supply list. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to use today, but you can replace or mix up, change it out to what you have or what you like. All right, so let's see here. I think I'll pull my oxides. You can use any of your inks. Now, do I like kind of like that? That's kind of a mermaid color, but I'm not loving it. Let's see. I might test. I'm going to test some blues. I think I'm going to probably end up with this. All right. But let's test some blues. So if you're going to test them, then we'll need another sheet of paper to test the colors. All right. So what I'm going to do is just take some Distress Oxides and just put some down, add a little water, and let's see if that's the blue I want. And now this is just going to be a quick little test to see what I like. And you might know your colors well enough that you can just pick your color without any testing, but I want to show y'all all the things. Okay. Now let's do this blue. This one is peacock feathers. And let's just put a little peacock feather down. Clean that off. And then let's go with the cracked pistachio, is kind of like a mint color. Okay. And that's going to be too green. I can tell already, but let's just go ahead and put it down. I think I'm going to go with the peacock feathers. I can tell already. Okay. So there we go. All right. So you can see what I'm talking about, the water. This is on a 60 weight cardstock, but if I'm putting that on this thin copy paper-esque art journal, it's going to bleed through. Okay. Let's see. I'm just going, just put it in caps, guys, if you're talking to me. So I'm going to look at these colors. I think I'm going to I don't know. I kind of like combo both, but I think I'm going to go with the peacock. But you can do whatever, you know. All right, so let me move that out of the way. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just work it here. All right, so I'm going to put the peacock blue. So this is your background. Your background, you choose your colors, and I could do a couple. I could do some brown in there. Maybe I will do some brown. Maybe I'll do a little bit of the rusty hinge as well. Okay. Hi, Leona. Anybody else? All right, so you're choosing your colors and you're just making some kind of a messy background. Again, this could be with smeared paint. It could be with your smack and drag sprayed inks, which y'all, know we've done that a gazillion times. So it can be, smearing, splotting, splatting, just getting some kind of color on the background. Okay. All right, now I think I will go with, let's clean that off a little with a baby wipe. Now let's go ahead and put a little of the brown color down for the beachy color. Okay, and we're going to put a little of that down here. It's just something on the back. A lot of this is going to be covered up. Okay. All right, so y'all still with the tour? Okay, let's move that over here. Let's move these up here because I'll be needing them again. Now I will take a heat tool and dry this, and let me show y'all. See how it went through? So just FYI, if you don't want it to bleed through, or if you don't care if it bleeds through, but you don't want it over on this page, put another piece of paper in between so that this doesn't bleed onto here. This is thin copy paper. Your other option is to do the same step. Maybe I should do that too. On another piece of paper. Hang on, let's see. Do I have one handy? Do I have a piece of copy paper here? All right, I'm going to do the same thing on another piece of paper just so you can see the two options here. All right, where's my plastic? Here's my plastic. All right, so let's go ahead and do the same thing again, but on a separate sheet of paper. So if you're worried about messing up your art journal or sketchbook or wherever you're putting it, then do this step instead. So you're not worried about messing up and bleeding through. Okay. So there we go. All right. Let's see. Hi, Mama 4. What? Are you taking notes? Okay. All right, so now let me plug in my heat gun here. And dry both of these. And dry the back helps to keep it from buckling too much. Hi, Joanne. Joanne, I don't suppose my ATCs have made it to you, have they? You did a smack and dragging in a whole journal, but only over a second page, yeah. And glued the pages together. Okay, that's good, Devin. Smack and dragging, what Devin is talking about, is kind of the same thing I just did, just on a bigger scale. I just use this little piece of plastic to smack and drag. But the smack and drag technique is where you take a big, like, a non-porous surface, like a quilting mat or something that's non-porous where nothing's going to sink in, and you use the sprays, like the dilution sprays, spray out, dilution spray, add just a little water, and then you take your paper and you smack and you drag. And you can do a whole sheet like that. I didn't do that. I'm just keeping it small today, keeping it like this. Okay, Joanne. Well, I hope they get there. It's been 3 weeks, I think, now since I mailed them. I'm still a little wet there. Let's go ahead and dry it just a little more. Hang on. This little thing. There we go. Okay. So you can either work it over here on another sheet. You could cut this down as well. This is kind of a big, or you don't even have to have it. You could just do this. Do you know what I mean? You could use, maybe I will cut this down a little. Let's see. So it doesn't take up too much room. Or I could even separate these two out. But I'm going to leave it like that. So you can do it on another sheet. Then when you're done with your page, then you can either cut it down a little bit, which you'd probably have to do if it's the same size as this one, and put it, then glue it or tape it or whatever into your book. So if you're afraid you're going to do this to your book, then do it on a separate page. This all the same steps that we're going to do. Do all the same steps, but on a separate page. So then you can cut this down and put it in your book. Okay. So let's move that out of the way because this is what we're going for here. And this might even still be a little big, but I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna roll with this. Okay. All right. So then we're going to go ahead and put this down. Again, step by step. I'm going by my step. I'm going by my steps. Okay. So now we're going to add our focal image. Now, again, what you glue with is going to depend on what you're putting it on, what you're gluing, what you like, all of the above. I think it's a little damp still, so I'm kind of worried about using a glue stick because a glue stick, if this is still a little damp, it's probably not going to stick. My favorite is still Eileen's tacky glue. Although for little things, which we'll probably be using later on for some of the small stuff, is I've been using the art glitter because it's so tiny in its application and it dries quick. Maybe I'll do that with her and I'll glue this down here. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to put my glue on the paper. And I know some of this is going to say, seems so basic, but you know, we got new people all the time. One of the things about using a thicker glue like Eileen's Tacky or a school glue is you can see how lumpy and bumpy that is. If I glue this down like this, you're going to have lumps and bumps. You need to smooth this out. You can go all the way to your edges, but don't leave it lumpy and bumpy unless you don't care that there's lumps and bumps on here, because it will. All right, so let's just go ahead and put that here. And it's going to wrinkle a little because this is wrinkled, okay? Again, if that bothers you, then do a separate piece of paper, separate like the other paper. All right, got any questions yet? Are we good? I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. All right. So now with her, I'll go ahead and just use the art glitter glue here. So because for one, it's tiny, you can get right up to the edges. And this isn't going to be as lumpy and bumpy as like the tacky glue or school glue because it's so thin. The application is so tiny. You're probably not going to get any lumps and bumps with this just because it's so tiny. And I would be taking a little bit more time, but I'm trying to get as much done as possible. All right. And the only aggravating thing about this is you have to put the pin back in every time. All right. So she's going to go right here, right there in the middle. Okay. Do you mean to put the sand? No, you're right. No, I did not mean to put the sand upwards, but now it looks like the sky. Good catch, Devin. But it is what it is, and I don't mind it because look, now we've got we got this contrast, that contrast, so it's fine. All right, so but you're right, I did not mean to do that. But maybe she's upside down world, it still works, right, Devin? Okay. So you got to remember, I am reading chat, asking if you all have any questions, reading my notes, and trying to do the project all at once. If y'all never streamed before, then you know. And I do have some different things over here too. I got jelly plated papers and other things, but we haven't got to that yet. I'm trying to keep it step by step. What do I got in here? That's another little starter right there. I have a couple starters here that if I wanted to work on these pages, got some starter pages. Okay. But I wanted to start from from scratch, right? Okay, so we added our focal image. Now we're going to and do both if you want, stencil or stamp. Okay. And you can use foam stamps, rubber stamps, acrylic stamps. I got my stencils here. We're going to maybe use some stencils. Let me just pick something here. Mermaid S. That's leaves under here. What else do I have under there? I got bigger ones under there. This one's kind of watery looking. Maybe this one. Oh, you know what? Let's use this one. This is Mermaid scale. I'm trying to keep these kind of up under here. Okay, so this one right here is kind of a mermaid scale looking thing. But you can get stencils everywhere, guys. Y'all know you can get stencils everywhere. Okay. So, and the same thing for stamps. I got these right here because I like them because they're just basic shapes. They're just not, you can just kind of move little bits and pieces around. So I'll hold these out for maybe something. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and use the same colors. You could use more colors, contrasting colors, but I'm trying to stick with something very simple at first. This is still a little wet. Let me go ahead and dry it just a little more because I'm going to stencil and I don't want to tear my paper. You will tear your paper if you try to do too much on wet paper. So this is just a little damp. Okay. Thank you, Tilly. I'm not a teacher. I do demos. Okay, so now I'm going to let's get a couple brushes. I got a orangey brown here with this. And let's see. Let's get a blue one. All right. And I like to stencil not like perfectly everything stenciled. I like to move the stencil around. And same thing for stamps. I like it to be kind of a hodgepodge of it. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll do the blue up here first. Denise loves to do this. She loves to stencil and use these little brushes and and you can use whatever. I'm using the oxides. You can use the distressings, whatever. All right, so now I'm just going to kind of go in here and kind of more or less around her. Just kind of like a little touch of pattern, if you will. And then maybe just a little up fading off like that. Let's see what that looks like. See? Just a little bit. Maybe it needs one more little something right there. Come back over here and just add a little bit. Just so it kind of fills in any spaces that you think look empty. And again, you could do this on your separate sheet and then cut it down and put it in your journal. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing, but with the brown. And I'm going to turn this upside down so it goes the other way, opposite of this one's going up. I'll have this one going down. So it'll look more like shells. rather than kind of clouds. Maybe a little on the side there. Okay. So doesn't that look cool? All right. So there's enough little stenciling. Now, might do a little stamping, but maybe with a different color, like a darker brown. Let's see, did I put my dark brown? I thought I did. Let me see. Let's put these away. I got a bunch of these when they clearanced them out. I want a dark brown. Might have to go into Distress inks if I can't find the exact brown I want. That's too purple. This one's Rusty Hinge. Tea dye. I really want a darker brown, so I think I'm gonna go into my little distress pads here. A little distress. Uh-oh. Do I want probably this? Let's see. I'm trying to stack them up here so they don't fall. I keep these right next to me, so they're handy, but that also means they're kind of okay. Thanks, Joanne. All right, so let's see what we can do with this. And again, I think I'm going to get a little stamp pad of some kind, a little acrylic block rather. Let's see here. Let's do a couple of acrylic blocks. Most of the time I don't even use acrylic blocks. I just pull the I'll just take it and let's see, maybe I kind of like, I don't know, these kind of look anemones. Like anemones. Anemone. And I'll usually just stamp it and just use my hand, but we're gonna be professional today. Let's see if I got one let's do a little test to make sure this one has got some ink in it. My little test page here. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna do some little, almost like little sea creature-y things. And do I want them kind of across this way, or do I want them random? Maybe just random. Again, you do use your whatever you got, whatever you like. And we're just going to do a few of these here. Okay. So just, I'm just showing you options. Showing you options here. Okay. Put this back on here. Do I want anything? Maybe some little star things. These kind of look like sort of like star shapes. Let's take the little star shapes and let's get a darker blue. Let's see. Do I want maybe this? This is Mermaid Lagoon. I think it'll just be a little darker than that. I'm not seeing anything in cat. Oh, great. You sure your pad's standing up? Well, that's how the boxes. These are the the oxide boxes. Yeah. All right, let's see. Move this out of the way. And let's see here. Do another little test. Make sure that they're working. There we go. I don't know if I'm going to go with this. Not the exact blue I would use, but I'm going to roll with it because I don't want to take too much time. So we're going to put some around her. I hope y'all are just getting some ideas. Write the ideas down. You can adapt them and change them and make them however, you know, you go, oh, I wouldn't use that color. I'd do the blah, 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 blah. Well, then write down yours so that you remember because you want to remember your ideas. And then I just clean off with a baby wipe and then slap it back on the little plastic. Okay. All right, let's move these up here. Move these over. Well, okay. So I don't know if I'm going to need some more or not. Okay. I love that little being able to slip things up under there. All right, so there is stenciling and stamping. So far we've had a focal image, choose your colors and do your background, which we did with the watered down ink, and then stencil and stamp. We're making progress, people. And you can blend in the focal image. Now, I could also take a darker brown if I wanted to, like, literally blend. Okay, I missed your little elbow there. You could literally blend in any of this like I do with paint. Y'all know when I do with paint, I will blend everything in so that you can't, it's seamless. That's not what we're doing here. But you could do whatever you want. Yeah, okay. Debbie says, Tim Hole says, no need to store the pads facing down. Okay. Annie Mae, hi Annie Mae. The beach is calling. Yeah, well, you live right there on the beach. I mean, you're living close to the beach, Selena. So, all right. So we got this done. The next thing is small ephemera or torn papers, jelly print pieces, stickers, small ephemera. So a couple different things. We can go with any kind of, this is too bright, I think, for what we're doing here. Let me just look over here. Let me look into if I got a right color in my April Clark books here. I'm looking at the colors on here, like maybe this color. So I'm just going to kind of flip. And there may or may not be something that I like in here. I do kind of like this because it has the dark blue and it has some of the yellow. So I'm thinking I might go with some of this. And I'm not going to, you can spend a lot of time overthinking, you know, and then never making a decision. And I may not use this, but I'm going to see. So I'm going to just peel off a little bit of this and maybe use some of it kind of coming across her body, or it could be, yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like it there. Just to give it another row of dimension. Do I want it that way? No, I like it this way. Okay, just to kind of set her back and drag the edges over. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and put this down. Not going to overthink it. We're going to make it work, however. So sometimes you might put something down and go, oh, I wish I would have done so and so. So, well, then make a note. This is going to take too long. I'm going to go ahead and use my tacky glue and just smear it out. And again, if things are dry on your page, you could use a glue stick, you know, depending on what you're actually sticking down. But you have to make sure things are dry in your background if you're going to use a glue stick. Okay. All right. If it hangs over the edge, you can trim it. All right. So there's a little piece of torn paper or jelly plated paper. I'm just trying to do a little everything to kind of show y'all, give you ideas. Hi, Joan. All right. Then I also said small ephemera or stickers. Now remember, we had our fish. So I'm going to cut out a few fish. Maybe they can kind of go right there on the edge. Or I kind of like that sharp edge with her, but I kind of want this kind of blended out. So let's take a couple of fish down here. And they're all facing the same way, which I'm not going to love. I mean, you could always, you know, print them out and reverse them or whatever. I think maybe just a couple fish here and maybe one smaller one. Or maybe a blue one here. All right, let's just go with this and see what happens. I'm going to cut out a couple fish. Of course, I also pulled sticker books. You got, tons of sticker books. I just pulled this for a sample to remind you. Write it down. You have sticker books. You can pull from your sticker books. I also have these papers, little what do you call it? Collage papers. I could have put instead of putting the this water piece behind her, but I wanted to use something out of the book. But instead of doing that, I could have used like, one of these kind of things. Little image small images. Um okay, that's all for now. Let's go ahead and do this. Oh, and I have these sticker books. This one's by season. Here's a fall one. We might use something out of here in the next page. So there's just stickers. There are all kinds. You know how many kinds of stickers there are out there in the world. All right, let me cut these out real quick. An overthinker. Yeah, and that's okay sometimes. Like if I'm doing a commission or I'm doing something very specific, like Denise wants me to make these railroad discs for this place up that's kind of like a whistle stop where people get off, and she has like a wall up there, and she said you need to make some discs for up there that are railroad themed. Well, if I'm going to do that to sell or to Denise wants some or anything like that, I'm going to be thinking more. I'm going to be uh thinking more about what I'm doing, the images and all that. So, but right, this is just my art journal for ideas and play and not thinking so much. And so, you got to have some kind of journal. That's why I got so many journals. You have to have some kind of journal where you can just throw anything in there. You're not going to care. It's not going to be, stressful. You don't have to show it to anybody if you don't want to, just a place to put ideas and play. That's where I'm telling you, that's where you're going to develop your ideas and confidence is if you have a journal where you can just throw things in and not be afraid. Oh, thanks. Yes, I thought a little bit more about that, Tina, when I did your Marley disc. Took Tina's cat that she lost here a few months back. Well, I think it's been more like a year now, hadn't it, Tina? And I did her a Marley disc. So, stuff like that you're thinking more about. This stuff you don't have to think so much. You can if you want, but don't overthink it so much that you shut yourself down. You can just shut your creativity and your mind down if you overthink too much. All right. So now let's see. Kind of want maybe one here, maybe another one here, or maybe the other way because that's lighter. Couple there. See, this one's going to get lost. I could put him right there because he kind of blends with that, so that's good. All right, so let me just go ahead and again, normally I would probably do my little the little art glitter tip, but I'm kind of trying to get as much done here as we can, so let's just go with this. I'm going to go over the edge. She needs to be holding something too. We'll see about that. And also, if you use like this Eileen's tacky glue, it's really thick, and I love it. It's one of my favorite glues. But I also have a jar here, or a bowl, a cup, that make sure you keep the lid on it though, because I've done this before. I didn't put the lid on tight, and I had a puddle of glue in the bottom there. But that way, your glue is always ready. If it's always down at the tip, your glue is always at the tip. If you have it, in something like that. The other thing here I'm thinking of as I'm doing this is don't be afraid of covering something up you already did. So I've stamped there and I'm going right over the top of the stamp. I'm going over the stencil. If it looks good and you like it where it is, don't be afraid to cover things up. And that goes with any kind of a collage project you do. Don't be afraid of covering something up. Okay. Holding a big pearl. Oh, a big pearl would be good, Devin. A big pearl. Now, see, now you're going to make me go look for a pearl. Or make one. But anyway, yes, a big pearl would be good. We'll see. We're not to that stage yet. That's like anything extra at the end. Let me look at my list. Okay, small ephemera, torn papers, jelly printed papers, stickers. Maybe I could find it. Let me just see here. Let me get the sea stickers. Here we go. Let's see. Seahorses. This was uh sea stickers, and maybe I could find something like a pearl in here. That would be nice, Devin. Oh my gosh. Let's just see. I'll find something in here. If it's not a pearl, it might be something. So, thanks everybody for being here. I hope it's kind of fun for you to play in step by step. Again, I'm not a teacher. I just usually just roll with it and demo things that I like to do, and just play. But let's see here. Oh, how about an ice cream? I think we're going to go with an ice cream. Now, of course, a lot of sticker books like this one, they're going to have a white edge, which y'all know I cut that off. All right, I'm going to keep that out unless I find a pearl. I'm going to look for a pearl, Devin. Oh, you know what? I could put a little ship kind of way back there, a tiny ship. Okay, I'll go with that. I'll give you all the ISBN of this sticker book here in a minute. You can get these on at the bookstore and on Amazon. I like those as well. That would be good, kind of sticking out from behind her. You want to pick one of these. Okay. Still looking for that pearl, Devin. I could just take out a center out of one of these. Kind of looks like a pearl. That's a good idea. Thanks, Devin. And if y'all don't follow Devin streams every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Devin Rex for Art. Yolan. But again, if I just call her Yolan all the time, y'all would not know who I was talking about. So we call her what she puts herself as, Devin Rex for Art. Okay. Let's see. Stop saying you're not. Well, I'm really not a teacher. Teachers have a lot of patience. Real gifted. I should say real gifted teachers. Not all teachers are patient. They should be. But if you're not, you got to recognize you're probably not a very good teacher if you don't have patience. But I can demo and show things, that does. And again, I say this all the time. It doesn't mean you can't learn something from me. But yeah. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's. And even though these are stickers and are sticky, I would still recommend gluing them down. All right. Let's go ahead. I'm going to start with this. This is going to be behind her little head here, like sticking maybe out of her hair. Now, this, I'm not going to cut in between each one of these little feathery things, but what I'll do is I will ink it down a little bit. So I'm going to cut off the bulk of the white, but there still might be some white in between, something that you don't really want to cut in between each one of those. You can ink them back, to dull them back a little bit so that it's not so white. All right, so let's see here. Put just a little glue on it. Okay, just kind of wanted this kind of coming out of her hair. It's a little too much. So I'm going to cut it back a little like that. And again, I'll just put a little bit of, knock it back just a little there. So that's kind of growing, coming out of her hair. All right, now I want this little boat behind me. behind me. My phone was behind me. I'm looking at my phone dinging. My phone's behind me. So the boat's behind me. You gotta multitask so much when you're streaming. I think that's the hardest thing is trying to do a whole bunch of things at once. All right, let's see. Let's get in between that little sail there. And that's why I always tell y'all to put it in caps if you're talking to me. I can much better keep up with chat if you put it in caps. So when I glance over, if there's nothing in caps, I can come back over here and keep cutting, that sort of thing. So we'll put this. I don't want it in the sand though, so he's going to have to be, let's cut off this bottom thing here. Just kind of want him way off there in the distance. Let's put a little glue. Don't really like it right on the horizon, but just shows that there's a ship out there somewhere. Okay, now let's cut out the popsicle or the ice cream bar. Yeah, it did have a lot of sails. I don't know what kind of schooner that one was, Devin. All right, let's see. There's a bite taken out of it. I personally just don't like the white around the stickers. A lot of people don't care. They don't mind the white around the stickers. I don't. I guess because I do so much collage that I try to blend things in so much that a white sticker is going to really stand out. All right. Let's see how she's going to be holding this. She's taking a bite out of that. She's going to be holding it by the stick. I wanted to go the opposite way of this, so even though she's took a bite out of it this way, she's going to be holding it like this. And do I want her hand in front of it? I could cut out just so it looks like she's kind of, her hand's in front of that. A little more, a little more. Hang on. And this is the fussy part that, you know, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing it because I want her hand behind showing just a little. There we go. Okay, so we got some small ephemera and stickers, some torn paper, and you can add more. You know, you can add lots. Like I said, I want to do a few pages today, so I don't really want to overwork one page because I want to show multiples, right? Okay. Oh, I did forget to write one thing down. All right. There we go. All right. And then again, this part is up to you whether you want to add any painty stuff to it or splatters or water or anything like that. You can always go in here and paint on this. I could add some waterfalls around her. I could splatter. Okay. I'm not going to splatter because I want to keep going on and I don't want to stop to dry it. But this is the part where if you wanted to splat some water foam, or if you wanted to paint any waterfalls, you could also, you don't have to necessarily use a paint and brush and all that. You could use your Posca. You know, you could use your Posca to come in here and either put dots and splatter or waterfalls or whatever. So Posca, I would recommend a white Posca. If you don't buy any other Poscas, buy one white Posca. Hi, sister. Good humor man must have been on the ship. Yes, that's good, sister. I gotta write that down. Good humor man must have been on that ship. That's I want to put it in the Wingnut book, but I'm going to leave it in here for now because I like that. It'll eventually go into the Wingnut book, sister. I love that, sister. That's good. That's clever, girl. Girl, that is clever. Okay, so let's see. So I didn't splatter or whatever, but I told y'all about it. And we might do it on the next one. All right, so next we can either add you can add words if you like to do words a lot. I don't like to do a lot of words, but a lot of people when they're art journaling, they want to use words and phrases or sayings or whatever, right? Let's brighten this up just a tad. So I also have different things that you can do. There's different ways you can use words. You can do, you can use like, word fetty like this that already has words for you. You can use, and I use this in a sample page that I did over the weekend for you guys. These little books that you can get like at Hobby Lobby or bookstores clearance. I have Alice. I have, what other ones do I have? Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz, Treasure Island. Or you can use any kind of kids books. And the reason I say that is because see how big the text is. So if you're going to do a journal page like this, whose birthday is it? Joan. Happy birthday, Joan. Big words, are good. So let me just see if I can find some. I don't know if I'm gonna find something. Maybe something out of Treasure Island might be easier to find something to do with the mermaid, rather than that. Let's just, and I just kind of randomly look through. See, you can just add all kinds of things like here. He added that I should tell the squire that when not pining for cheese and home, and then you can put ... ice cream. All right, let's just go ahead and tear this out. We'll do, and we can do a separate word. You can do sticker words. You can do, and I'm not even going to put home. I'm just going to put cheese. Okay, so. So the good humor man, you could write a whole story with this. You could use this side of your page to write your story. And I just stick these back in. All right, so one thing I will do with this, though, let me get my little work-off sheet here, is I will, let's see, do I want it in blue or do I want it in, blue or do I want it in? I think I do want it in blue. There's probably enough on here, right here, just to knock it back, just enough. You could edge it neatly and all, but I just want to add a little bit of blue to it. And so what I'm going to do is, I'll just go with this. All right, let's glue this down. And I'm just going to put ... Use your imagination. It's a little wet still, so it might not show up. Oh, well, good. I hope you're having a good time. So anyway, and you could also put, other words. You can do, let's just say, I'm not going to put it on here, but you can take your like tombos or, any, I'm not sure this is the right color, but I just want to show you could write and journal. And you can, so this is the word stage of my little, what do you call it, list over here. So you can make your own words and put them on here, you know, wherever you want. Here, here, here. I should just stick it on there because we can. You could use, if you don't like to write or you don't think your journaling is good enough, then you can use stickers. You know, word letter stickers. All right, so there's just a sample. All right, so there's one sample of the main things. Now, the other things that I have down here, so words either written on the page, stamped, glued. I have it right here. So let me get down to it here. Different kind of letters. So you can stamp your words out. You can stamp them on a separate little piece of paper, stamp them out, and then cut them out and glue them where you want. Or you can feel brave and go stamp it right on your page. So, and there's rubber stamp lettering, there's acrylic stamps, this is a number, my number sheets there, there's numbers. You have big ones, little ones. There's even tiny ones. Let me show you. Tiny, like this here. Tiny little letters. And this is, you can keep these in like little ammo boxes. So, but you know, there's just tons of different kinds of alphabet stamps. You can keep them neat like this. This is my typewriter set. So you can stamp, instead of like where I wrote mermaid, I could have stamped the word mermaid. So my point is the word aspect. So if you like to add words, you can use cutouts. You can use your word fetty. Things like this, where you just put a little sliver of saying something on here, or you could write it out, you could stamp it out. So that's the next step in the step-by-step is words, text. I should say words/text. Okay. All right. I think I got everything on there. Let me highlight that off. All right. Next, two more little steps, and well, really three more steps I have an extra step. All right, are y'all finding this fun? Y'all have to say it's fun. There's Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Look, we're doing a mermaid page, and Arlene sent me a bunch of brushes, so I put them in my Xandra cup. So anyway, she's eating an ice cream. And Sis just said the good humor man must have been on that shit. I love that so much, sister. All right. So next thing is to add, and depending on how much, I'll show y'all some of my other, I don't have a lot of tabs in this book, but in my faith journal one, I'll show y'all some of the pages out of that. I do have more tabs. And I am tabbing more in my everyday, this one. My everyday one, I am tabbing more in this one. And you could also put words on there if you want, you know, like this one's the one where I use the little granny square cut thing, you know, for a tab. So the next thing is a tab or a paper clip with, like here, let me show you here. And a book, and I also got a bookmark. Okay, let's see here. Okay, well, we'll show that. Oh, I'll show this too. All right, so I have all kinds of little paper clips in various sizes. And I call these rag flags because I'll add a little piece of fabric or a little ribbon or a little piece of fabric to a paper clip. And so I call them rag flags. So you can make a rag flag, or you can make a tab, or you can do both. Let's cut this off here. Or you could do both. So you could tab it. Like I could even take some of this and make a little tab if I wanted. Could make a little tab, make it stick out just a little bit so you can see what that's your mermaid page or whatever. You know, you probably will remember them as you do them because you work any time on them, you're gonna remember. But you could make a tab like this. I think I'll just do that. Or you could take a paper clip. You could take a paper clip, and they're real inexpensive, and you know, colored paper clips, and you could paper clip either way. So you can put like with the rag flag with the paper clip, or you can make a tab. So I think, do I want it this way? I think I'll do it this way. Again, you don't have to do this step in your journal if you don't want to paper clip it or you don't want to tab it, you don't have to. I just think it adds a nice touch to a page. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this over and do this. And remember, you're going to have, this is where it bled through. So if you don't want it to bleed through or you don't want to see where it's bled through, do this same exact process that I just did. Do this on a separate paper. Do this on a separate paper and then glue it in your journal so you don't have wrinkles or buckling. See, I don't mind that. I'll just cover this up with something else. But I know a lot of people are very OCD about not wanting crink, rink, wet. So if that's you, do the whole process on a separate piece of paper, cut it down however size you want, and glue it in. And glue it in so you don't have to worry about that. So what I'm going to do with this little piece, I think, is I'm going to cut it down just a little more. And I think I'm just going, now I'm going to go ahead and glue stick. Let me see, where's my glue stick? Where do I have one? Here, here's one. I'm just going to glue. And I'll do something else on the back of this late at another time. Okay. So if you don't want it, like I said, if you don't want it wrinkly or anything, and that just gives it a little more oomph too, if you put something else on the back. Okay. The other thing is if you don't want to do a tab or a paper clip, you can make a bookmark. Now, I'm not going to make one now because I want to get onto some more pages, but you can make a bookmark. And then that can be your, you know, this would be mermaid-esque. See? So there we go. I think let me look here. Let's see. Add a tab, a bookmark, or a tag. Okay, you can do a bookmark, and I did write down or a tag. So if you're more, instead of a bookmark, you're a tag girl. Let me find a tag here. If you're a tag girl, you could write your little story here. You could edge this. You could edge this. And I would probably, if I was doing this actually, I would lay it down on something. I would lay it down on some, I don't want to lose my spot there. And, you know, do a nice blend. I would put Denise to work doing this because, you know, Denise loves to do this. So you could do a tag, and I would normally do both sides if both sides are going to show in your book. So you could put tags in your book, bookmarks, rag flags, paper clips, or a tab. All right, so let's take this. Let's go back over here. And then I would probably take, where's my fish? Where are those little fish at? Well, I'm not seeing my little fish anywhere. I flung them over. Here's my fish. I flung my fish. I would probably take one of my fish and make a tag with the fish. All right, put it in caps if you're talking to me, guys. Or if anything's going on, let me know. I'm just demoing away here. Get y'all inspired to do a journal. Maybe plan one for the next year. I know it seems like that's a long way away. Well, it's really not, is it? But I like these kind of sketchbook journals because it can be in lieu of a Society of Idea Collector notebook. This could be your Society of Idea Collector notebook. So you could write your ideas and your the term is an oldie, like 40s, 50s. I believe I have seen the movie. Oh, you're talking to Devin. I was going to say, what? Am I talking about a movie? I try to remember to date my complete. Oh, that's another good thing. Okay, well then we'll do that. Let's date it. Hang on. All right, let's go ahead and put a little something on here. Let's put a little, since I have the tab is this, let's go ahead and do, let's put one of these on here. Poke it through. If you poke it in from the front to the back, then you bring your loop to the front, it'll be a nice, neat loop. Come on. There we go. So you can do a tab. And you could date it. You could date it here. You could date it here. Let's go ahead and date it on here since Devin suggested it. Let me just throw this one back in there. Let's see what I pulled here. I got this dates here. I've been using these, so they're not very put away neatly. All right. And I got some smaller ones here that are the little acrylic ones, but let's use these wood ones. Let's see. So I need 20, 25. And today is August. What is today? Did I say the 11th? 8, 11. Okay, so let's do this. And you can make it stand. You can make the words, your numbers stand out. I also have one of those twistable, let's see, do I have it right here? One of those stamps that you change the date every day. Where'd it go? Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. The little twistable ones that you change the date every day. So if you want it smaller, I think I'll do the dark brown here. Let's see. I'll just do it down here. So let's do August. We'll do 8. I wasn't very careful with that. That's okay. And a dot. 8. 11. Be a little neat. Take a little minute. If if you want to need 811 dot. Clean off with my little baby wipe here, and 20. 25. There we go. There, Devin, I dated it just for you. I do try to date some things, but usually it's, I just know the year that I'm working in the book. For one thing, I don't do things in order. I don't go front to back. I skip around, I find a page and just, so it probably is more important to date because of that reason. Let's see. Dot said, I sent my exhibition entries in today, finishing a set of monthly tags. I forgot what you're doing, Dot. What did you send in? I forgot. I knew last month, but I don't remember this month. Dot's in the UK, and she's, and she's not ashamed to say she's elderly. She's probably our most elderly person that we have in the group at this time. Other than Annie V, hi Annie V, if you're watching. She doesn't come in chat, but she watches. Let's see. Terry said, I watch a lot of old movies and get a lot of journal prompts from lines from dialogue. So they're out of date, but that even makes it better. You shake your head what they just said, and you write it down for later. There you go. That's what a Society of Idea Collector notebook is for, Terry, is write down those ideas and tab them. And you could put, you could put it for whatever, topic that you want. All right, so let's see. So again, I have a couple others back here that I was going to think about working on, but I'm not going to work on these, but I'm going to show them to you that I've got some base focal points down. So there we go. So there's that. Let's see, what else do I want to show anything? Oh, these are just, I pick pages to work on. All right, so in this book. All right, so let's move this off for a minute. Again, this one's my everyday journal now, and it's not, I haven't done too much in it. I did this Alice page. I'm trying not to show you too many pages as we do them. And plus, y'all, if y'all were here when I did tons and tons of the Midori, the size little art journals where I did mermaids and Alice and Art Nouveau. I'm looking over at the shelf. I probably have about, I don't know, 10, 15 books over there that are kind of this style. Okay. But I don't know that I've ever just wrote down all the steps so that you could have them. Let's see, too lazy to tab. Well, you don't have to tab your Society of Idea Collector. I have, and I've done composition. Let me go grab one of my older ones. Hang on. These aren't really my current Society of Idea Collectors. Y'all know I redid a whole 3-ring binder, but these are some of my older ones. Here's one of the ones that I did where I tabbed all kinds of things. So I had my Barbie projects, fashion projects, all kinds of notes, papers, what else? Things to scan, techniques, stories, myths, symbols, quotes, different kinds of journals. I just had that. Sticker ideas, zines. Here's one when we've done different zine projects, fabric ideas. Let's see what else is in here. Mother Goose, when we did Mother Goose, zines. So I got all kinds of Mother Goose things done down here for when we did. I ended up doing Little Miss Muffet with a Barbie. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds, and when I just did all the photography, Barbie photography, and then I put along there. Along came a spider, sat down beside her, and frightened Miss Muffet away. And so yeah, so that was a zine swap we were in. But I didn't know at the time I did all this. I didn't know what Mother Goose rhyme I was going to do. So these are different ideas. So what else is in here? Got more ideas here. What else did I have in here? Lists, my fashion notes, book notes, more Barbie. One of the nice things about doing tabs is, and especially if you're doing a composition book or a book that, if you fill up that section, then you go, okay, I got Barbie here, I got Barbie back here, and I got Barbie back there. If you got a tab on it, you can see where you've advanced those ideas to a further in the book with tabs. You can just go find all the Barbie tabs. Okay, so there's that one, and then this one I also tabbed. Okay, Janet just messaged me to tell y'all, and she says she said it in chat that she is not streaming today. So just FYI. And I did miss Dorothy's answer to what she's submitted to. Is this too far back where I'm not going to see it now? She sent her exhibit entries. Let me see if she answered what it was for. Did you answer, Dot? I sent a squirrel fabric collage. Okay. My little robin collage and 2024 tag set. Okay. You'll have to take pictures and let us know, or email them to us so we can show them off, Dot. Okay, and I just saw some of what Janet said. So Janet's not streaming today. So FYI, guys. Okay. This is done in the same way. Let me just take you through the steps based on my little list over here. Let's see, did I get the lighting here? Readjust, because we go from color to light to dark, and it does mess up the lighting. So I started with some smushed ink in the background, a little bit of stenciling. Then I used these two images. I used it like a little frame thing. Here's the focal point image. Here's some little ephemera, stamps, word fetty. I did not date it, Devin, but and I put a paperclip rag flag on it. So this is all the same steps. And you can see you can do it as much as big, small. You could do this in a tiny composition book. You could do it on a huge sheet. You could do it on, any kind of journaling that you want. The other, and I did write down options here. And I don't usually do this much. If I'm going to do this, it's going to be on a single page rather than in a journal, because it adds bulk, if you will, or so that you can't really do the back page because it's got texture. Is that you can add 3D elements like flowers, texture paste, or any other kind of dimensional items, sequins, or those little dots. What do you call them? The enamel dots, anything like that. I keep that kind of stuff if I was doing kind of a scrapbooking page or something like that. That's in some kind of a binder or something, that's not going to matter. But if it's in a bound book and you add like some flowers here, which would look really pretty, some little red or pink flowers on here, but it's going to add bulk and texture. So let's see, you sent pics to my IG. Okay, let me find my phone here, Dot. All right, let's see. Messages. It's not wanting to load. Let me step out in the hall, Dot, to see if it'll load. It's not wanting, IG Messenger is not wanting to load right now, Dot. I'll leave it here and see if it comes up. but it's not loading right now. My IG. Some time ago. Oh, some time ago? What does that mean? I don't have it anymore, Dot. I get hundreds a week, so I don't keep them all. So I don't have it, Dot. You'd have to send it to me again. You don't know how many IG messages I get a week. Okay, so I've got a lot lately. I've asked Janet. Okay, Tex is talking to Janet. Okay, so anyway, this was the same thing as the Mermaid page, just a little bit smaller scale. Oh, do I have anything else in here that I want to show right now? Here's a kind of a little bit of a simpler one. Same kind of deal though. Starting with some ink or paint or smear or smush in the background, some stenciling. This could use some more stenciling. Focal point, some ephemera. This one doesn't have a rag flag on it, but I did make this little tab here. So again, this is my current one. This is my, I started tabbing a little bit different way. I started tabbing by color instead of by writing each one. So what I did, so let me see if I can get to the contents page here. See, look how many Post-it notes I stick in here. All right, so here. So, and then I did this one, I think, last year and kind of carried it over. But, so, and then these are extra little tabs, so I don't have to go in order. Any place that there's a yellow tab is collage and jelly printing. So here, any place that there's yellow tabs, I can go right to it and find notes on jelly printing or collaging. Okay. Streams and books are light blue. Any kind of studies, classes, any kind of learning, anything, it's this purple color. Barbie is all in pink. Lists are in this dark purple. Mind maps and sketches, quotes, lyrics, stories, songs, any kind of word, quotes, lyrics, anything like that, or stories, and supplies and or patterns. And then here I have my extra little tab, so I can just peel one off and put it in there. So, but these are the colors. And then I also have the little dotted ones that are the same thing. If it's a yellow, it's a collage. If it's a green, it's a supply and pattern. So pink is Barbie. So yeah. So this is another one of my Society of Idea Collector notebooks. And I can always go back to them. Just because I've moved into another book doesn't mean I can't go back. Doesn't mean I can't go back. Yeah, I know, Arlene. Well, I can't even tell y'all how many binders I have in this room, full of three ring binders full of stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's move the mermaid. Let's move the fish off of here. So that was, if y'all missed it earlier, that the mermaid and the fish were out of the new. I did a flip through of this already, so you can go back and see the flip through of this Mermazing collage soup. I just got this. And if y'all missed, I showed my, if y'all came in late, I don't know if Devin, if you saw it, I'm not going to flip it again, but I did put 3 sets of pencils in my new pencil case over the weekend. I didn't make y'all watch me do it. So I did show that earlier. All right. So let's go ahead and get my journal back up here, and let's just start another page. Let's just find a blank page here. There we go. Let's see, somewhere in here. I don't want one that's already. Here we go. I'm trying to kind of keep it in the middle too, because that way it's kind of flat for the camera. All right. So I did pull a couple other what do you call it? Focal images out of the Timekeeper's Atlas book. So I didn't make y'all have to wait for me to go through them all. So I got some blank papers here if I need some test sheets or whatever. All right. It's my first actual society was super organized, but they devolved a lot issue. Now it's just a treasure hunt of random. Well, whatever works and whatever is fun for you, Arlie. You know what I mean? It's whatever works. You find out as you make your own uh, idea collecting books, journals, sketchbooks, whatever you want to call them. You can call them whatever. You're just your idea collecting. Wherever you collect your ideas, you'll find what works for you. Whether you tab them, I don't tab all mine in every single journal, but you just want to be able to try to, if you need something like all my Barbie ideas, I've done over 100 Barbie photography pictures, and so when I'm doing them, I'll write, or the ideas come to me, I would write them down, like herding cats. I reposted that one. Let's see here, it'll come up for me, I don't know. I reposted. I usually don't have a hard time bringing up just my main page. Here we go. So this one was, I posted this 3 years ago. This one's from 3 years ago. And I wrote down the ideas for doing this, herding cats. So let's go back. So there's my Barbie with her. And I wrote down, use a wire to make her scarf look like it's blowing in the breeze. And then there's a whole bunch of cats. If you go over to my Instagram, you can see it better. So there was my herding cat Barbie photography. So, I do write down ideas. And a lot of times they start on a Post-it note. Yes, new pencil case, Devin. You have to go back. All right. So let me go ahead and show you. Oh, let me mark these off. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same steps again. But I'll let you go ahead and take a picture of this if you want a screenshot, or just pause the video if you don't want to take a screenshot, just so you can see step-by-step art journal pages is what, and I don't usually do this. Usually everything is on a Post-it note for the day. If there's anything I want to remember to tell you guys, it's on a Post-it note. But I had all these, and Debbie busted me out, said, why didn't you put these on a Post-it note? Well, they were on a Post-it. I don't know if it's still in the garden. They were all on Post-it notes. And I don't know if I can get down to where I cleaned off a bookshelf, so I got a lot of paper and old stuff in here. So, but they were on like 10 postcards. I mean postcards, 10 Post-it notes, and so I rewrote them on here for ease of glance, so I could glance over here and do these step by step. So we're going to do another one step by step. All right. So first I'm going to find and I picked up a bunch of focal points here. I like him. I like her too, but I think we might go with him. We could go with both. We could go with them both. Maybe we'll go with both of these, and maybe this. All right. So I am going to trim down a little bit. I'm going to trim down. I just kind of quickly cut them out of that, Atlas. What is it called again? Atlas? Timekeeper's Atlas. This is all like steampunk. So this can get cut down here. Do I want more cut down? Do I want that cut around her hat? Maybe. Just something like this. That needs to be cut down. So these will be my main images here. And we'll do this one more grunge. We'll do this one kind of grungy. Then I want this clock from the book. And then I'll show you some of my other smaller, the Midori size. I think that's what that size is called. The Midori size journals. See, something like that. And we'll save this and save that for another time. right. Put these back in the snap pack. My mermaid got to get a snap pack of its own. All right, so let's see, what do I have here? Put that out of the way. And then I'll show you my some pages out of my faith journal that I've already done. And see how I got lots of tabs, and I don't have really, they're not worded, but they're tabbed. So I'll show you that one too here in a minute. All right, let's go ahead and do this one. So we're going to do this one, and let's do it in a couple of shades of brown, maybe. Maybe it will, yeah, let's go ahead and do the same thing that we did before, which was take a piece of the plastic and ink it down. Now remember, this is thin paper. It's going to go through, which I don't care, but you might. So, all right, so let's go ahead and do a couple things. Let's go ahead and do this color as the mush. Where's mine? Let's do this color as the mush, and then we'll do some, I thought I had a baby wipe here. And you can add so much of your, what do you call it, other things. Like you can add, like I got these puffy ball things for paper clips. You can add twine and string and all the things. You can add all the things. Postage stamp. This one would probably be a good one to add some. Where's my postage stamp? You know, I got a craft wrench going on over here. Let's move all this out of the way. So, oh, I was also going to do a page with these. This needs to be in a small journal, though. Maybe we'll do another small page. I pulled postage. You could use this kind of thing. Maybe some of that. Here's my, stamps. You know, you can use your old postage stamps, your faux ephemera, all this stuff. All right, let's see. Okay, let's just get some color on the background. You want to dry it, though. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Kat, for putting in the links to the Collage Soup books. The smush and mush, yeah, rather than the smack and drag. The button camera, I think. Come on, line up. See how it went through? So if you don't want to go to the next page, you want to put a paper in. Or do this whole process on another sheet of paper and glue it in. I don't mind that it goes through. I'll just smack something else on the other side. But again, if you're very conscientious about crink, rink, wet, do it on a separate paper and then trim this out and glue it into your art journal. Okay, let's see what kind of, because I'm doing these people here, let me just kind of set them over here, what it's going to kind of be set like over here. Adjust the lighting again because now we're on a white paper. For being, oh, thanks, Tina. Thank you, Tina. All right, so, and I might try to find a couple of postage stamps. Oh, what's this one? I like the color. I know I'm all about matching, not matching, but I like these colors. These are, looks like the coin, that looks like Netherlands. So we'll go with that. And what else? Maybe another one. I'm just going to pick some rando ephemera today for this. We'll go, do I like this one? It's two something. Let's see. See, I like different things like if you use something from a different time period, you don't know what's going on. It's like, what era are we in? Are they time traveling here? You just don't know. I'll leave that little bit there. I'll ink that. So maybe okay. I'm not going to dilly dally, dawdle, or lollygag. We're just going to pick a couple and little small snaps. Although they're not snaps, they're Velcro. Okay, then let's see, what else do I want to use? While this is kind of sitting here, I'm going to put a stencil of some kind. Let's see here. Get some of these little stencils. What do I want here? Tree. I love this shape here. That's always a good one. And I do wipe these off with the baby wipe, so they're not as bad as some. Oh, a bee. There's my bee. I want that on top. I don't want to lose my bee. Or maybe this one. I think I like that. Okay, we're going to go with that. I'm going to go with this in a minute. Don't want the bee right now. And I might want some kind of stamping. Let's see. I pulled just a few stamps just because of, different shapes or whatever. Like this one, maybe. One of those two, probably. Okay. Let's find a couple other little something. These are little, I think most of these are cardstock weight. I don't want cardstock weight, so I'm going to bypass those because the cardstock weight. Let's see, maybe, I don't know. Do we need a butterfly just because they're a little thicker, but I do like that color. Let's see, maybe a leaf. Maybe I'll use this gold. Again, this isn't two-dimensional. I mean, it's not, I shouldn't say two-dimensional. It's not TOO dimensional. It's not extra dimensional. So I might use some of that. All right, we'll just pick that. Again, I kind of wanted to use something out of these, but these need to go in the small journals because these are small little scenes. So we'll save that. I don't know about what words I might want. We got, don't forget, we got stickers. I'm going to put the seahorse stickers away. We don't need that. Got the antiquarian. Well, I've got tons of different sticker books. But, maybe oddities and curiosities might work well with the steampunk people. We'll pull this. Let me just flip through Treasure Island. Let's just see. Very seaworthy. So, all right, maybe something, since we're doing steampunk, maybe something out of the science book. See, you just gotta have fun with it. Did I miss the conversation about Dee Dee's nails? No, there was no conversation about them. I just did pink and grays. No conversation. I just kind of pick what I feel like. Okay, I like this. Things to do. Plan a trip to a new building. And I might just put a line through it and say time. Make pictures of things with wheels that can help take you there. See, this just fell out of the thing. I'm going to take off the number 1. And we'll ink around the edge. Science for here and now. What year is this? This is A library book, but 1959. 1959. All right, so what I want to do is just kind of get an ink pen here. Where's a pen? Do I want up here? No, I got one handy somewhere. Because I just used it, but I used it this morning, so that's why it's... Hang on, guys. Let's see how thick this one is. I know, right? Great little book. All right, so let's see. Let me go ahead and ink this probably with the same color here as the background. Because if I don't want to, if I use it with the dark ink, I might cover up the words. I might put a little bit around the edge, but I want it just to not be white. All right, now let's just go ahead and take a little bit of this. Let's see if I can do this kind of carefully. I want it kind of messy, but I don't want to cover up the words. Okay, that's going to go over there. Now, the dark brown with the stencil. And do this. Get a brown. Do I have one up here? It's red. Let me get a brown brush. It's yellow. Hang on. Dig up under here. I know I have a brown one. Blue. Close enough. Oh, here's one. All right. All right, let's see here. Are y'all enjoying this? Are y'all enjoying the step-by-step process? And I hardly ever do a step-by-step anything. Hi, Kimberly. All right. This is kind of, and I'm trying to imagine where they are. They're going to be kind of here, so I'll need some up here and more down here. All right, let's see. Oops, got to be careful. I'm going to move it. A little bit will show back down the sides here. And down in here. Whoop. Kind of looks like old wallpaper or something, you know. Victorian-esque. Okay, I might add some more, but we'll see when I lay out the pieces. All right, I might do a little more. Okay, and now, oh, I also wanted to get a little more here. And around the butterfly here. I could cut that off, but I'm just going to ink it right now. Ink the white edge. Okay. No, still with the tour. Oh, wait, I got to ink this little leaf too. Just get rid of the hard white edge. You could cut it off. Okay. All right. Oh, thanks, Tex. You took notes. Okay, if y'all missed it, here's the notes. This is what everything that step by step. Of course, you can skip any of it, but I actually wrote it down. All right, so now let's see. We're going to go ahead and decide we're going to glue here. This is going to go here. I think I want this at the bottom. Leaves. How's that look? I think that looks pretty good. Probably needs a little bit of something up here. Maybe just a little more. Just so it's not too. There we go. That's all I needed that. Oh, good, Laverne. Thank you. Hi, Karen. All right, so let's go ahead and glue this down. Let's go ahead and I'm going to glue this down real quick on her there. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just get it tacked down so everything's where I want it. Then I'll turn the whole thing over and put more. If this is really dry, you could just use a glue stick on because it's just thin paper, most of it. Okay, that. Let's just tack that little butterfly right there. Put that right under here. I don't want it up here. No. I might want it up here. Yeah, I think I want that up here. And then this coming down here. Looks a little better. That. And then this. All right. Now, let me take the whole thing over here. And you could use your glitter glue thing, the tiny, the tiny tip thing. I'm just using my big Eileen's tacky glue, but you got to remember, if you don't want any wrinkles and bumps and lumps, you want to smooth it out with your finger. Now, the nice thing about Eileen's tacky glue is it rolls right off your finger, unlike, let's say, matte medium. But you could also do most of this with a glue stick. Okay. There we go. There we go. Did I glue that down? Maybe a little bit more here. There we go. And you could also ink the whole edge if you wanted to. Now remember, you can also add a tab, a bookmark, a tag. You can make a tag. I was also thinking about using some of this gold leafage. But that's going to take a while. So, but you see how that gold would accent this really nice? You could put it a little bit up here or just a little bit right here and then stop it right there and carry it over, coming over here. So this is, and it's really thin. This is thin, so it won't add a lot of dimension to it, but I'm not going to take the time to do it right now because I want to keep moving forward. Okay, did I get that glue? I think so. But we could add a tab. Oh, and I could also add more, if you want any other little ephemera you know, this is oddities, like there's a little, what do you call it? Hourglass would probably be good in here. There's just so much that you could add. The pyramid with the eye. All right, so there's that option. All right, let's see. A tab. I want a tab. Let's see. What do I want a tab with? A couple of postage stamps would be good. That. Let's see. Just looking. Don't forget about your washi tapes. I got washi tape sitting over here. And, I use something out of the book, but you could use your word fetty. Let's see. Here's just a little piece of Tim Holtz. A little one of these little Tim Holtz cards. I'm just going to cut this right off right here. And we're going to make a tab out of this around the corners. Do I want it that way? Do I want it this way? I don't want it that way. I kind of want it this way, so I'm going to cut this in half. I want it this way. I don't like my tabs to stick out too far because then I'm catching them on everything. Okay. Alrighty. Make sure there's no excess glue. Alrighty, there we go. Another page. And I did not date this. I should date it. Should I be messing with Devin right now? I could be messing with Devin. All right, we're going to mess with Devin. We are going to put, let's see, August. I just threw them in here. August. There's 8. So let me get it all. 8. Clean it off a little. 8. 11. Clean off the edge. Where's my 25? Let's put a dot. There we go. All right, there we go, Devin. There we go, Devin. Okay. So, Joan caught it. Joan caught it. Joan, do I have your address? I'm going to do a giveaway too, but Joan, do I have your address? It reminds you of the Titanic. And I could put the watch hands going out there and all that, but all right. I'm going to go wash my hands real quick. Joan, tell me if I have your address or not. If not, I want you to send it to me. Just want to get a little of the brown ink off my hands. Otherwise, I'll be transferring it over to every book I show y'all. All right. Don't believe. Okay. Email it to me. Okay. What is this? I don't want to share. Here's my email. And it's always on my about page as well. Oh, jeez. I think that's right. Did it come through? There. No, wait, that's not it, Joan. I put an O instead of an I. Hang on. My fingers are still wet. There we go. All right, there it is. That's the correct one. It's an I, not an O. Thank you, Kat. Kat got it to me. All right, so we're also going to do a giveaway, and I will give y'all some little ephemera pack thing, you know. I'm not going to have time to put them together, but I want to do the giveaway. So, but I'll put ephemera giveaway. So we'll do 2 US, 2 international like we usually do. We'll go ahead and do that now, and then I'll show you some of my faith journal pages and some of my other mini books that y'all have seen before. Y'all have seen the small, you know, the little Art Nouveau. You've seen some of those before. So, okay, let's go ahead. I might post this one on thumbnail and on Instagram with the, oh, you know what I forgot to put on here? I forgot to put some kind of a paper clip. Let's see. Not that they all have to have one, but since I'm telling y'all to put paper, showing y'all to put paper clips, there's a plan. Let's see. Oh, I kind of like this. Look at that little piece there. It's not I don't think it's enough to make a paper clip out of, but I do like that. Let's see. All the paper clips at the bottom. Let's get maybe a black paper clip. And what do I got here? Here's the black. That'll be good. This one's longer, I think. Oh, a little velvet piece. I like that. That one's velvet. Okay, let's get a little piece of velvet here. Let's make a paper clip here. We'll trim it down to make it pretty. Maybe I want it over here. I don't want it over there. There we go. Off to the side. Okay. Hard to see, but it's black. But there we go. All right, so there's that. Let's go ahead and do the giveaway, and then I will show some of the other books before we go. Let me move that glue up there. All right. On my iPad. Let me bring up random.org. You resent the picture? Okay, let me see, Dot, if it came through. Oh, okay. View photo. Oh, that's awesome, Dot. So here's Dot's entries into it's not letting me. Okay. There we go. It's a close-up one. It's stitched. That's all stitched. Like long stitch. I'm sure there's a name for that stitch, Dot. I'm not knowing what it is. And then here's the other one. The tag. No, that's the hanger there. I'm not sure what she's naming these. Those are awesome, Dot. I love the squirrel, though. I love this one. It's really red. It's not quite that red, guys. The squirrel's more brown, but the color's not coming through. But that's beautiful, Dot. Good job. Thanks for sharing. And let us know how the contest goes. Let us know what the results are, because you should win something. That's a lot of work. If y'all could see in person, very close up stitched work. Hang on, guys. Trying to do random. Okay. All right, here's our rando.org. There's our generator. I'm going to set this right here. All right, wait till I type and go. We'll do international first. International only. First two people closest. You're going to put in a number. Wait till I type and go. When I type and go, put in a number between 1 and 100. One number only. Don't move your number, change your number. Just put in a number, and then we'll see what random.org has to say. So, first two people closest to the random.org number, when we bring it up, I'll send you a little collage pack, okay? A little ephemera giveaway. All right, there we go. International only. Then we'll hi Raul. Just pretend Denise was here, Raul. And then we'll do US only. I'm gonna sip of my lemon water. Do a little pickup here while I'm sitting here. I'm trying to look around to see if I showed everything, all the ideas I could think of to tell y'all for today's ideas. All right, don't dilly-dally, dawdle, or lollygag. And hi, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I do appreciate it. And yeah, so I think this page, I like this page. I like the mermaid one too, but like I said, I'll show you a few more samples out of my faith journal and out of, while y'all are doing that, let me grab a couple right here. I know y'all have seen these a gazillion times, but I'll just pick a couple. I'll pick four. I'll pick four to kind of quickly flip through. All right, get your numbers in. International only. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. First two people closest to 39 without going over. 39. Let me get some little envelopes. All right, I can't even get over there. Put this back up on the shelf. Yeah. Come on. Oh, go. There we go. All right. Let me get some envelopes. Where'd I put them? I cleaned this area out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Joan. Oh, Joan. Okay. Well, Joan, you got, I was going to send you something and you won. Okay. So hang on. So send me your address, Joan. Is it Joan's Junk Journaling? Had 39. And then the other person was Dorothy on the nose. Okay, Dot. There you go. Okay, so Joan and Dot, y'all get some ephemera giveaways. All right, now let's do US only. All the same rules apply. We'll pick a new number, USA only, 1 to 100. Wait till I type in go. USA only, 1 to 100. First two people closest to the new number without going over. Okay. All right. Where's my post-it? What did it post? Oh, Okay. Oh, Janet's calling me. Hang on. Hello?
Hey there.
You're not on speakerphone. What's up?
Okay. On the giveaway,
Yeah.
it was Terry Brett. It wasn't Dorothy.
Oh, somebody said. Janet said it was Terry Brett, not Dorothy. Okay. All right. Thanks, Janet.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Dot, I don't know how you snuck in there, Dot. Not that you need it anyway, but okay. It was Terry Brett. You can still hear? Okay. Terry Brett. Okay. So, Terry Brett with 25. All right. That's okay. Or whatever the number was. It was Terry Brett in the international. Sorry, Dot. Dot, if you win, we'll send you a congratulatory something if you win your fiber award. Okay. Let's see. So thanks, Janet. Yeah, Janet said it was Terry. Okay, so count down. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, here we go. I'm going to count down. USA only. First two people closest to the new number. You're welcome, Terry. Sorry, Dot. But Dot, you need to win that fiber contest. You hear me? That's amazing. I wish people could see it better in person. My IG doesn't do it justice. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Terry. 2, 1. Good one, Terry. All right, here we go. New number for US only 45. First two people closest to 45 without going over. 45. Let me scroll back. Let's see. All right. Don P has 40. Oh, Sista has 45 on the nose. So Sista had 45 on the nose. So Sista will be 1. Did anybody else get 45 or anything? So is the next person closest Don P with 42? Y'all double check me. So I think it's Sister with 45. And is it Don P with 42? Y'all check me. Don P with 42. Okay. Okay, so I think the only person's address I don't have is Joan, Junk Journal Joan. So send me your address, Joan. I don't share your address. I don't put you on an email list. I barely remember if I have your address. So there we go. So y'all all get some ephemera packs, some ephemera giveaway packs, stuff like this. I'll put y'all together something fun. All right, let's see. What else? All right, let me move my iPad out of the way and quickly show y'all a few minutes with thanks, Kat. Show y'all a few of the journals. This is the kind that I was talking about that is similar to this style. And I did tons of these during the virus. And so this one was my Art Nouveau one. And again, I skip around. So pages are done and not done, but it's kind of the same thing, except I left room to either journal or add quotes or whatever ever. Let's just kind of sit. Maybe if I pile it up on here, it'll be better. There we go. So it's kind of there. So it's kind of the same thing. It's except I didn't smash ink on these first. I didn't smack and drag or do ink smushing. I just did stenciling. So, but it's the same kind of situation. So, here I use postage stamps, stenciling, little paper clip in there, focal point, So I'm just going to kind of flip. This one hadn't got anything done to it. This doesn't have anything done to it. Here's another one, little bit of fibery stuff there, little paper clip. So it's all the same type of thing. So this is a very easy, it really is. If y'all have not done, it's my favorite, your favorite, Elisa. If y'all have not done any kind of art journaling, this is so simple, guys. You can just stencil, stamp, and I could have stamped instead of stenciled. You can foam stamp, you can acrylic stamp, rubber stamp, or stencil the background. Here's some washi tape here. And then just, these are all themed ones. So all these books are themed. Like this is the Art Nouveau. So you can put some quotes. You can do little tip-ins or tip-outs. And again, you can actually do your journaling, note-taking, whatever you want in here. But we made tons of these. We made tons of these back when. So quotes. Just so y'all can see different ideas. See, how's the color? I guess it looks okay. I'm kind of far away, but you can kind of get the idea, I think. You can always zoom in later if you watch, wanted to. So I'm skipping pages too. There's 2 or 3 pages in between. And then if you do little journals like this, or even if you do a big journal, you can put an envelope in the back and put, your ephemera and ideas and things that you might want to use in the envelope, and you could glue it in the back, So that's my Art Nouveau one. This one is, I think this is just nature. This one was just a nature one. Some I put some different definitions in, different little things in the little envelopes. I love the quote and I write it anytime I think of seeds. Thoughts are seeds. You choose what to grow. Pansies are me and my grandma's flower. And this is just some masking tape, little labels, masking tape. Here's a quote, mankind, design, more seed things and little pockets and categories. I was going to do categories of coffees, different coffees. Harmonics. I loved studying harmonics and sound and effects of that. Here's one of my hand-carved stamps, my little hand-carved frog right there. Stenciling. So this is basically all the same stuff we did today, except we started with mushing inks and we added more stuff at the end, like tabs and other things. So this is one of my Xandra. This is my all this is Xandra stuff. My Xandra Mermaid stuff. You know what I need to do though? I do have these. I got them sitting here. I got this little mermaid. I got these little, I'm going to put these in here right now. These are some wax seals that she made. And I'm going to think this is stickers on the back. Yeah. I'm going to put these in here. I'm going to put my Xandra wax seals in here. These are amazing, Xandra. I can get the little sticky tab thing off. It's not wanting to come off. Let me put. I don't trust this. Let me put some glue here. I think I pulled some of the sticky off. So I'm gonna put my My Xandra wax seals. I know it was, right? Elisa's made for this. So you can see some of it has stenciling and some of it's just started. You can go back and add things. I never feel like I have to finish anything. That's just part of being not, it just doesn't bother me. And I think that's, because you can be more creative when you can move, keep moving, keep moving. And if you think, oh, I don't really know what else to add to it, you flip the page and you start a new one. And this is always, I always write anything to do with science. At what point did science become all about suppressing questions? That fits some time ago, if y'all know what I mean. I love this pink page. And then here's some more little pieces ready to add. So that was like my nature one. Then I have, this is my Alice one, which I don't have a lot in my Alice one, but I did cut some of those book out of the Alice book, children's book pages. See, I cut some out. When Alice turned around the corner, the white rabbit had disappeared. 2022, we did this one. And this one's got all kinds of flaps and all these, the word fatty in here is cut out of that Alice children's book that I showed earlier. Here's some tags. Some of these people have made, a couple of the tags people have made, I put in here. And then here, like this. What we find out. We tell these things about an experiment. They're just cut out of that book. The word fatty is. Here's some little tags and things. She saw a glass table with nothing but a tiny golden key on it. It's more Alice quotes. And I just made little washi tape, little tab things. I think that's about all I got. These are just kind of stuck in here waiting. And then here's more stuff back here. Alice postcards, Alice stuff. And then I just put this headband because it's pretty. Then the last little one here, and I didn't bring them all out. I just picked 4. Bye, Arlene. Thanks again, Arlene. Arlene. Arlene, if y'all missed it, Arlene sent me all these. Thank you again, Arlene. This one is my Asian one. This is one of the little paper dolls that Beth Schuler made. It's an origami paper doll girl. She sits right there in the front. And there's just all different. There's Chinese, Japan, Korea. Here's the year 2022. The year of the tiger. Let's see. So there's the tiger, year of the tiger. And then here's some little just Japanese little, what do you call it, bonsais. Then here was the year of the rabbit. So I can continue to add, I can continue to add to these. Again, stenciling, postcards, just little cards up there. Some tags, some pictures, and again, an envelope in the back where you can store all your ephemera. So those are some of the small ones. And then real quick, I'll show you a couple of my faith pages before we go. So I hope y'all enjoyed seeing some step by step. Again, if you missed it, here's my little thing I went by today. You can take a screenshot of it or come back. Do you plan design ahead of time? No. Here we go, Karen. This was what I did today to show y'all how in my head, and I don't go by this every time, but I wrote this down for you guys today because I don't usually do step by steps. I just kind of wing it and go for it. And I just know what I want to do. But I made this for you guys today because this is how I did this. So just write that down or take a picture. All right, so let me just show you a few of my faith pages in here. Oh, I've got so much stuff all over. Um, and you can do this with quotes. You can do this. It doesn't have to, you can do with whatever. So let me just pick a few here. Let's see what I got here. Let me go to the front here. Some of these you might have seen. Like these I did on cardstock and then put them in here. Let's see, is the clay going to be gone? So this one says discover. And it's just got, a book. Could be a Bible, could be a book, it could be whatever. And I have a little definition of discover. This one I did on a separate card. Like I said, if you're afraid that your ink is going to go through your page, because this is thin paper, it's copy paper thin, then do it on a piece of cardstock or another paper like I did here, and then glue it in. Okay, this is some dimensional leaves, stenciling, inking, and then just different little, ephemera. It's the same thing. It's all the same. It's all this, except in this case, I don't have, not every page is tabbed or paper clipped. But you don't have to do it on every page. But if you want to add tabs, paper clips, or a bookmark or a tag, you could certainly do those elements that we talked about at the end. Oh, thank you, tell him. All right, so there's that. Then this one, I'm going to take these out. I just put these in here for you guys. This one was detail, and so that was the word. All the individual parts that fit together to make up a whole, the treatment and the inclusion of all the individual parts that make up something. So, and again, I used the theme of yellow. I mean, I just did lots of, I pick a color or two. And if you pick a color or two, and this goes for color or three, if you do that in your pages, your color book pages, they're going to be cohesive because the colors will draw everything together. I could have here, like I have a little squirrel or chipmunk here, and a bee and a butterfly, but everything works together because of the yellow. Y'all see that? So I could put anything on here. I could put the steampunk girl on there. I could, it'll work because of the color. Thank you, Kat. All right, let's see what else did I tab here. I'm just gonna, this one is on seeds. Again, thoughts are seeds. You choose what to grow. So I kind of did a lime green and little seed packet. Okay, this one is mustard seed. So if y'all know the story of the mustard seed, all you need is faith. The mustard seed's the smallest seed ever. It's like the size of a bigger than a pin dot, but not much. A mustard seed's like about that big. If you have faith as big as a mustard seed, that's all you need is that much faith. So anyway, I got the little quote there for the mustard seed, and I could write on here as well, but I just stamped out mustard seed over here. You see how the blue? Oh, and I got some pom poms on the edge too. Blue, the kind of light blue and the yellowy orange colors, how brings it together. And I did splatter on this one, so we talked about the splattering. Let's see. That's old. I've done that before. Okay, here's one on hope. This is a ephemera, a book. I don't know if I have the book back here. This is from a book I found on, yeah, here it is. And they don't have it anymore, and I think it's out of print, so I don't think you can get this. But you can find stuff like this on Amazon, but this was Cut and Create Mustard Seed. This was and she doesn't do these books anymore. As far as I know, she doesn't, and they're not published anymore. But that's where I got these seeds and mustard seed, these yellow ones. So there's hope, positive expectation of good. That's what true hope is. And I stamp those out one letter at a time with my little typewriter stamps. I'm loving. Oh, thank you, Shelley. Thank you. Yes, Devin. Even if it's 1825, right, Devin? And I'm skipping over a lot of them. I just tabbed a few here for you. This one's nothing's done except the background. Let your light shine. And so I've got the stencil rose in the background, and then this ephemera here and this, and that's all I've done on this one. See, I can move back and forth. I can move all over the place in mine. Okay, this one is on Grace, and it has a bookmark, and so it's all in oranges. Let's see. And y'all can go back and pause them and look at them better later. Let's see here. Here's one, celebrate. And that's whatever you want to celebrate, but celebrate something. And again, this one is on a piece of cardstock and glued in so that it doesn't make, doesn't bleed through. So there's celebrate. Same technique, same focal point, stamping. It just doesn't have ink, ink smush on this. A little bit of tape there, and you could use your washi tapes. Here's one, save the bees. I make save the bees for Cameron. There's a save the bees. And again, this one, and I've shown y'all these before. I think we probably made them on stream on the cardstock, and then I've just put them in here. So there's a save the bees, and I put the quote for care. The process of maintaining something in good condition, careful attention to avoid damage or error, a worry. Wait, let me just go there. The process of maintaining something in good condition, careful attention to avoid damage, error, or worry or cause for anxiety. So save the bees. Let's see here. Here's one that's still in process. This one does have smushed ink on it. And I think of this one, Dance Like Nobody's Watching, So it's got the smush, it's got the what do you call it? The stenciling, it's got ephemera, it's got a focal point, and I don't have any words on here yet, but Dance Like No One's Watching is what I think. And then I put a little one of the little granny square, folded over and made a tab. This one here. Don't have anything with my birds or the crows or the birds don't worry. Here's another little bee tab there. Let's see what else do I have in here. Another faith as small as a mustard seed. Because I bought that book, I love that book and everything in it. So I made a few different pages with seeds, mustard seeds, because I like the book with the blue and the yellow. So I did more than one. It's my book. I can do what I want, right? So stenciling, inking. Okay, let's see. Do I have anything else I want to show? Here's one on hope, another one on hope. And that's kind of like nature-y looking. I think that's all I got to show in this one. So yeah. So it's quite the thick book, and I got one of the pom-poms there, and I got some tabs, but I don't have paper clips on every one, but I do have quite a few tabs. So on some of the pages, I didn't show y'all everything. This one's more full, but it's more personal too. Okay, so there we go, guys. If you missed the beginning, I did do a flip of the Mermaid. But I think I'm going to show that, and I'm going to post this Timekeeper's Atlas because I want to show this. See, this is why I keep it all in a sleeve, because I think I'm going to post this page today on Instagram. So, all right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Remember, Janet is not streaming today. So go make you something. Go make you a page. Go make y'all a page. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all so much. And thank y'all for the super chats. And I don't see Starla Arts here, but keep Starla Arts in your thoughts and prayers. If y'all did not know, she lost her mom this last week. So Starla Arts, big hug to you. And good luck, Dot, on your submission for your fiber submission, and we will see you guys later. I'll be, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. I'll be here on Wednesday. Bye, guys.